I wanted to give you a short reflection on my year 2025 and what a year this was. The word that came up to me is like transformation. It was so transformative in all aspects of my life. And I want to talk about what really moved the needle. Because there are so many things you can do. Read all books that you can grab in a year, or focusing on your physical activities, or on sleep, or on nutrition. Um, for me, it was definitely allowing myself to invest in my self-development. So what do I mean by that? So I'm reading books for the last 10 years. I'm buying a lot of books. I'm reading them. I'm educating myself. I'm getting a lot of ideas. But still, it's something different than really investing money into a coach or a mentor. And if you would have told me like a year before that I will invest 30,000 plus euros in my self-development this year, I would say you're completely crazy. I never do that. I was highly, um, I was highly skeptical about, investing a lot of money in self-development. Tony Robbins and all the other gurus out there, or maybe they're not gurus, but I always heard like stories from people who said, I've invested like $650,000 in my self-development, or I invested 250,000 euros in programs. And for me, it was like, hey, I don't know, this sounds like this kind of Ponzi scheme or pyramid play. So people invest a lot of money, and you know yes, the coaches and the mentors make a lot of money out of them, but I can read books as well. And so a year ago, I was like in a really frustrated time of my life. My business was not really going well. I was struggling like for 4 years making this business, this mentorship business working. I had a lot of clients, and I transformed, or they transformed their life with the guidance and help of me. This was cool, but still, money wasn't really flowing. And so for me, it was okay. I'm reaching this dead end now. How can I move forward with being a professional, helping people to live a better life? How can I move forward in this business? And everything started last year in January, where I get to know one of my mentors, Toko McCree, and one of my dear friend and brother, Alex Goldau, suggested to check him out. And this was a jump forward for me, because I kind of got to learn a kind of a framework, and how to really enroll people in my business, from the heart and not in a pushy way. So this was really eye-opening, and things started to move in the right direction. And then everything changed again in June, and Alex, my dear friend and brother from another mother, as I call him, he said he will go to Hawaii, to Maui, and spend a couple of days with his coach, JP Morgan, there. And first of all, I was thinking, oh, that's cool, but there's no way that I will fly to Hawaii. And it had a substantial financial investment as well. So I thought, okay, cool that he's doing it. I'm happy for him. And then I got an email from JP Morgan. It was just a little video where he explained like, hey, he's living on this farm in Maui with his wife, and he's preparing for the field. It was called like an experiential workshop for a couple of days, and there will 14, 15 people will come here, and that's it. And I watched the video, and something pulled me into that space of, oh, there's a possibility I can just go to Hawaii and see what's there. And so it took me 2 days. Actually, it took me like snap of a moment, and I decided I will go there. But it took me actually 2 days to really book the flights and say, okay, I will do this. I will go to Hawaii. I spent 4 or 5 days with JP Morgan in his home in Hawaii. And let's try things out. Maybe there is something behind that people invest money and commit to something bigger than just getting a 10 or 15 years book and to learn from there. So this whole trip was completely transformative for me in a way of nothing really changed when I was there, but everything changed when I was back in Austria after this 6 or 7 days. So as if a new dimension or a new door is opening to see the world differently, and all of a sudden I had this new energy. I had all these new ideas, and I just started my first group coaching program. I signed up more one-on-one clients, and it just had a huge impact, not only on my business, but also who I was being as a dad. I deepened my relationship with my kids. I deepened my relationship with my wife, and also with my friends. So this was kind of, wow, there is something in it. And then, because I'm someone, either I'm 100% committed or I'm out, I committed to another 8 months with my coach JP Morgan in an online program for another 20K. So all in all, it was an investment of 30,000 euros. And other people buy a car, or maybe that's just a small car. And I decided this year I want to grow, and I want to experiment with what is it if you have someone as a coach or as a mentor who guides you, who supports you on your way. And honestly saying, for me, this was the best investment ever. Yes, it was damn scary. Yes, I was thinking a couple of times, like, how can I make this money back? And actually, I made the money back after like a year or so. And I'm now in a much better space. I do know that commitment is bringing you this drive. So once you commit to something that it's outside your comfort zone, that's financially outside your comfort zone, where you think, oh, I'm not sure if I can spend that much money, you will see, you will have a different energy. You will thrive. You will do everything to make it happen. And I think that's the magic behind it. It's like, it's the commitment that you take on for yourself, plus like the financial investment, because you can't, I mean, sure, you can just not show up, but for this money, I mean, I started to work with JP in July, every week, 30 minutes. And I was on holiday. I was in Asia with my family. And due to the time zone difference to Hawaii, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I was sitting on the hotel pool in Thailand, 2 o'clock in the morning, and was doing my session, because I was so committed, and I'm still so committed to do the work. And then something changes. And so for me personally, this was like, as I said, one of the most transformative years. And I do know now how it is to be in this space of committing to something that is bigger, that's outside your comfort zone, and then taking the action and just moving forward in I'm always referring to as, you know, having some rocket fuel in my bag and just flying. And so, yeah, this was a pretty interesting year for me, and I can't wait what's coming in 2026. I already have a lot of ideas. I'm writing on 2 books right now, and yeah, it's going to be a great year. Then notice. So this will be the growth year for me and my business and my relationships as well. So yeah, what is my question for you would be like, what is one area that you want to step into new terrain or into new territory in 2026? And I'm curious. Let me know what you're up to, and talk to you soon. Loving you. Bye.